When you have a new LLC, you have a lot of things that you have to take care of, and getting business credit is actually an important element to consider. So in today's conversation, I want to explain to you how to get business credit for a new LLC the fastest way. So the first thing you need to do is you need to know the best LLC loans, because see, the thing is that you don't have, all loans are not created equal. So if you're trying to get a business loan for a new LLC, you have to know the best loans for you. So when it comes to the best LLC loans for new business, you actually have SBA loans for LLCs, for example. With SBA loans, you can actually get a maximum loan amount of $5 million. Okay, and the credit score here is not really that high. You are talking about 600 all the way to 650. So this is really good. And when it comes to that, you have a lot of players in this field. You have your regular bank, for example, or credit union. You also can go to a traditional bank such as Wells Fargo, or like you can go to a regular bank like either a state bank or a national bank, or even a community bank. So you have all kinds of players that can help you get an SBA loan. So if you are a new LLC and you're trying to get business credit, think about getting an SBA loan. You can try, for instance, to get a line of credit. When it comes to business line of credit, you can try, for instance, Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo is a great player in this industry in helping new LLCs get business credit. And the good thing is that Wells Fargo is a national bank, so they have a national footprint. So it doesn't matter the state you're in, chances are you are going to be able to open a business bank account with Wells Fargo. You can also try the online business lenders. So if you are a new LLC and you're trying to get business credit for your new LLC, you can try online lenders. For example, you can try Funding Circle. There is a lender called Funding Circle, and they actually can give you all the way to $500,000 when it comes to an online term loan for your new LLCs. And here we're speaking about a minimum credit score that revolves around 600 all the way to 650. So again, we're speaking about a criterion that is not really that strict. Okay, you also can try, for instance, Fundbox. This is another online lender for your new LLC that can really help you. Fundbox is great. You have Fora Financial. You also have Blue Vine. Blue Vine specializes in business line of credit for new LLCs, not a problem. You have On Deck, for instance. You have Triton Capital. You have a lot of players who can help you out when it comes to giving your LLC the type of business loan that you need for your new LLC, of course. By the way, boss, welcome back to the show. It's really a pleasure to have you here. Make yourself comfortable. We are going to have an enriched conversation about how to get business credit for a new LLC the fastest way. So step number one, you need to know the best LLC loans for a new LLC. Step number two, you need to check your credit score. The thing is that even though you're trying to get a new LLC business loan, you still need to actually look at the things from the personal side. In other words, what is your personal credit score? And it's really important to understand that when we talk about personal credit score, it's simply because your LLC is new and that your LLC right now doesn't have a paydebt score, doesn't have a Dun & Bradstreet score, doesn't have a business credit score with Experian, doesn't have a business credit score with Equifax. So everything will be revolving around your personal credit score. This is why you want to take the opportunity right now, if you haven't already done so, to start beefing up your personal credit score. And the third thing you want to do here is to actually choose the right type of LLC loan for your new LLC. Why? Well, the thing is, not all loans are created equal. When it comes to new LLC loans, you have to actually account for the type of loan that you need, and you have to do this from the get-go. See, the thing is, when you have a new LLC, you do not have the latitude to choose, but you do have the latitude to actually talk to the specific lender you want to talk to. Now, let's talk about let me first talk to you about the several types of business loans for new LLC. So you have business term loan, you have business line of credit, you have SBA 7A loan, you have SBA micro loan, you have SBA community advantage loan, you have equipment financing, you have invoice factoring, you have merchant cash advance. The question is, your LLC is new, but do you currently have customers? I mean, there are some, because when we talk about new LLC, a new LLC can be as old as 6 months. And within that time frame, there are some new LLCs that are able to generate revenue. They're able to actually generate, to get new clients. So the question is, do you currently have some kind of revenue coming in? If you have some kind of revenue coming in, you can try, for instance, invoice factoring, or merchant cash advances. Those two type of business credit for a new LLC are called revenue-based financing because they revolve around your accounts receivable and your electronic sales. Or you can try a business term loan or a business line of credit from a traditional lender, such as a credit union or a bank, or an online lender or an alternative lender. It all depends on the relationship you have, but also depends on your personal credit. So you have to have a clear idea about which one will work for your new LLC. Boss, I want to quickly talk to you about, I want to remind you of today's topic. We're having a conversation about how to get business credit for a new LLC the fastest way. The third thing I want you to pay attention to here is to actually calculate how much debt your new LLC can afford. You need to understand, going back to what I said earlier about your new LLC's profitability, where you have to really look at your new LLC's cash inflows and cash outflows so that we have a clear idea about the type of money you are able to generate and how much you can afford to repay, right? It's not about, you know what, I want to have $1 million for my new LLC as a business loan. Okay, not a problem at all. We'll give you 1 million, but can you afford to make monthly payments that revolve around the 1 million business term loan? In other words, if the 1 million business term loan is asking your new LLC to make every month payments of $15,000 to actually amortize that loan, would you be able to generate enough revenue to be comfortable in that? So those are really important element that you have to pay attention to, and you have to pay attention to those elements from the get-go. You can't just now I have 2 days I want to apply, and then I want to apply for a business loan. Now I'm going to have to start thinking about things that way. No. You think about things way before you even start contacting lenders. You start contacting business lenders. You start watching videos like this. You start reading reviews. You start doing research. You need to decide how much you can afford, and how much you can afford depends on it depends on where you are at right now from a monetary and budgetary perspective for your new LLC. And one thing I need to say here is that it's always important to understand that how much you can afford has many implications. For example, you have this number will have an impact on something called your DTI. So your new LLC's DTI, your debt to income ratio. So if you have current obligations, if you have current debts, you need to make sure that your DTI is not too high, because lenders really are scared. They are scared as hell when they see DTI going up. And if you have business credit cards for your new LLC, you also have to pay attention to the CUR, so the credit utilization ratio on those business credit cards, because those will have an impact also in terms of your risk profile, your overall risk profile. So those are elements that I want you to really pay attention to as you explore the fields of business lenders out there. So if you're trying to get business credit for a new LLC the fastest way, pay attention to how much debt you can afford, and usually you want to be as conservative as possible. You want to be as really conservative. Don't look for a high amount. Start little and build up from there. I want to talk to you now about another important element is you need to compare LLC lenders. The thing is that if you're trying to get, let's say, business credit for a new LLC the fastest way, you need to compare LLC lenders. And when we talk about LLC lenders, we're talking about all kinds of lenders here. I think I started this conversation by telling you that, you have online lenders, you have alternative lenders, you have lender networks. So you have lending marketplaces. So when we talk about the marketplaces, we're speaking about the likes of National Business Capital, NBC. We're speaking about Lendio, for instance. And so you have alternative lenders such as Balboa Capital, such as Sunrise. So you have a lot of players. You also have online lenders such as Bluevine. Okay, you have, or Fundbox for that matter, or you have banks such as Wells Fargo, Truist, PNC, KeyBank, and so on and so forth. or you have also credit unions such as the Navy Federal. You have PenFed. You have PenFed doesn't offer LLC loans. I mean business loans in general, but you have a Consumers Credit Union. You have CCU. You have Connexus also. So the thing is that you need to. How do you compare them? Well, you first of all, it's always better to start with the institution where you currently have a relationship. We tell all our viewers and business clients, for that matter, to always go for the lender with whom we already have a relationship. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Don't try to do something you haven't done before. If you're trying to get business credit for a new LLC, the fastest way, ask yourself, do I have a current relationship with this institution? Like, do they know me on the personal side, not on the business side? You know, on the business side, of course, you need to have you need to open a business checking account and or a business savings account for your new LLC. But the thing is that you must have been with the institution long before on the personal side. That's what we call having an NPR, right? A multi-product relationship. You're trying to beef up your NPR so that the lender will say, oh, you know what? Even though you are a new LLC, you can still parlay that existing personal relationship with you and give you a business loan or give you a business loan or a business line of credit or even a business credit card. So there are all kinds of possibilities here, but you have to have that relationship though. You can't just like get up in the morning and say, you know what, I'm going to start this, blah blah blah. No. It does take time. But it is totally possible, and you have to start a little early. So when we talk about the top LLC lenders, we have lenders such as Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Chase. Those are the national banks. We have, in terms of the online lenders, we have Blue Vine, you have Credibly, you have National Funding, but you also have the credit unions. So don't forget, this is a very diverse field here. If you are trying to get business credit for a new LLC, by the way, boss, before I actually continue, please, I want to remind you of today's topic. We're having a conversation about how to get business credit for a new LLC the fastest way. And so now the next thing you have to do here is to actually gather LLC loan documents. So you're trying to really get business credit for your new LLC the fastest way. There are certain requirements you need to pay attention to. Okay. And so what are the required business loan documents here? Well, you have personal information. So some lenders will ask you to provide details about your personal, about your, let's say your provide details about the LLC owner or owners. So we're talking about the majority owners here. So names, addresses, resume, income, sources, and contact information for both you and the company's co-founders or co-owners. And so we want to have some information also about the LLC information. So, the company's name and address, tax ID or EIN number, the new LLC financials here. We're speaking about new LLC, so we don't have like actual results yet, unless you have some actual results to put them. If not, the lender will be okay with projected financials. So basically, we can have projections over 5 years. Okay. So we're speaking about profit and loss statements, balance sheets, cash flow projections, income tax returns on the personal level, and also business bank statements. Also for the new LLC, lenders want to see legal documents. So we're speaking here about articles of organization, business license, and proof of business insurance. And there are some lenders who also ask you to provide a certificate of good standing from state authorities, so they are sure that you are a legit business. And also for a new LLC, lenders will want to have some kind of a perspective, some kind of a prospective analysis. And here they will ask for a business plan. So here, a business plan doesn't have to be like a Bible. I mean, it doesn't have to be a 1,000 page document. No, you can actually have like a 10 page or a 20 page document, summarized documents that explains how your new LLC is going to monetize its business model to be able to repay whatever loan it's applying for. Okay. So you want to have a document that details how you intend to use the funds and the financial benefits they will provide to your new LLC. And some lenders may require additional documents. And if you are offered a secure loan, you will need to also provide information about the collateral. Inquire with a lender to determine what you will need in advance to avoid processing delays. Now, what you want to do is that you want to apply for your new LLC loan. Now, when we talk about applying for new LLC loans, you need to understand there are possibilities here. There are a lot of possibilities, and the question is, what kind of loan are you looking for? Many lenders offer all kinds of LLC loans to new LLCs. Online lenders let you apply online and upload supporting documents to their online dashboard for review. You will most likely receive a decision in just minutes or as soon as one business day. So when it comes to online lenders and traditional and alternative lenders, things tend to go a little faster. But a traditional lender could take a few days to a few weeks to hear back, especially if you have to visit a physical location to apply for the new LLC loan. The waiting period is often even longer for SBA loans. So upon approval, the lender will prepare documents for you to review and sign. So once the loan documents are processed, funds will be dispersed to you. The funding timeline varies by the loan product and lender you select. Okay. Now, what if, let's say, everything can happen. Okay. Nothing is guaranteed here when it comes to new LLC funding. So what happens if your new LLC loan is denied? Well, if your application is denied, you may not be entirely out of luck. You want to start by reaching out to the lender to learn why your application was rejected, and you want to get insight on what you can do to improve your approval odds moving forward. It's all about really, asking yourself, what can I do better? You may have to look at different types of loans for your new LLC, and you may be a strong candidate for a business loan for bad credit, which will likely have higher interest rates. Also, try to consider alternative lenders, and online lenders and peer-to-peer lenders tend to have less stringent eligibility guidelines. You may even want to try a crowdfunding platform, which really involves raising small sums of capital through donations or investment in your new LLC. So this is kind of like something you need to really think about. And so when we think about new LLC loans in general, remember that there are always pros and cons. And maybe if the pros are too much for you, you can try other types of financing. So when we talk about the pros of new LLC loans, you have flexible funds rather. You have low interest rates, especially if you already have a relationship at the personal level with the institution, and you have a chance to build business credit for your new LLC. What about the cons here? Well, you may have to sign a personal guarantee, especially if the lender wants you to really sort of beef up your loan application. And this type of financing can be expensive if you have fair or bad credit. And there are some cases where there are limited disclosure requirements. Let me close to this conversation by saying that if you want to get business credit for a new LLC the fastest way, you may have to consider some alternatives to new LLC loans. Because maybe you're trying to get a business loan, like a regular business loan, but what if you don't get it? What if you're not able to get whatever you want? Then you need to actually have plan B, plan C, plan D. You need to have all kinds of backup plans, okay? So you can first try business lines of credit for your new LLC. You can also try business grants. Business grants are great also, okay? You can try personal loans, especially if you have a great personal credit score. Then you can try to parlay that great personal credit score into a great loan with a decent rate, a decent APR, that is. You can also try to get business credit cards for your new LLC. You can try home equity loans. And I mean, speaking about business credit cards, if you can't get a normal business credit card, you can actually try to start with a secured business credit card, and then after a positive let's say a positive payment history over 6 months, you might be upgraded to an unsecured business credit card. And so this looks fantastic. This is great. And you also can try home equity loans. In other words, you are tapping into your personal assets to finance your new LLC, at least for the first year. Everything is possible. Or you can get money you can try to borrow from friends and family. I mean, this is if you have you have friends and family with a deep pocket. I mean, you gotta have that relationship. You gotta have that trust too, right? We usually do not advise our business clients to borrow from friends and family unless things are in writing, things are clear for everybody, and the transaction is really formally done. Like, it's not about, I trust you, whatever. I'm going to give you $50,000. I'm going to lend you $50,000, and I'm just I'm going to base everything on trust, quote unquote trust. No, you have to write things down. It has to be in writing. There has to be an agreement. You have to have a document that lays out the repayment window. Like really like the interest rate, all kinds of details that you usually find when you borrow from a traditional lender. So this is the kind of mindset you need to have if you want to borrow from friends and family. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. In today's conversation, I was just talking to you about how to get business credit for a new LLC the fastest way. Number 1, know the best LLC loans. Number 2, check your credit score. Number 3, choose the right type of LLC loan. Number 4, calculate how much debt you can afford. Number 5, compare LLC lenders. Number 6, gather necessary LLC loan documents. Number 7, apply for your LLC loan. And thank you so much. God bless you. I'll speak to you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.